Hello, loves. Welcome back to the Power Posse Podcast. I'm Kristin.
I'm Anne.
Stacey isn't with us today, but she's here in spirit.
Yes.
And this is the place where women gather to power up, speak truth, and ride the waves of this wild, beautiful life together with courage, connection, and a little bit of sass. If you caught our last episode, you heard from our amazing guest,
Lisa.
Yep, Lisa Coots-Schooley. She was phenomenal. She shared
She's a phenomenal woman.
things about her life. She shared things about her businesses, and she gave us a whole lot to think about. So yeah, today we're going to be reflecting on some of that.
Yeah, because sometimes the conversation after the conversation is where the real shift happens. This is where we unpacked what moved us, what challenged us, and how we're making meaning of it in our lives from all that Lisa shared and that we shared as well. So grab your tea or whatever you like to drink, your journal if you feel like it, and your whole beautiful self, and settle in. Let's talk about what we learned, what cracked us open, how we can carry it forward together with the Power Posse. So let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. So Lisa Coots-Schooley, she's a realtor here in Cedar Rapids. crrealtor.com is her website. I just wanted to give her a plug there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's also a podcaster.
Fellow podcaster here at Upload Media Group.
Yep.
Addressing the Corridors, the name of her podcast. And an entrepreneur in many ways, we learned.
She's had several businesses.
Yep. Business coach as well.
Yeah.
So she had a lot of wonderful things to share. And I felt it just was so inspiring.
Yep.
And her spark moments, they were plural. She shared multiple spark moments. And I think that's important to remember. There's usually more than one in our life, and especially depending on how old we are, how long we have lived.
Life we've lived.
Yeah, that there are going to be multiple. And that is a point that came out too, that, we go through multiple seasons in our lives as we evolve. And so, there are going to be different things that are catalysts for that evolving and changing and growing. Right.
One of the first things that she said when she was talking about the first part when she had the photography business and she found out that her husband had been embezzling from her business. And she talked about going through this poor me phase.
Yeah.
And that jumped out at me because I went through that for much longer than I should have. I rode that wave a little bit or a lot. And it was just hard to get out of.
Yeah.
And I was so inspired by some of the things that she was saying as far as telling herself and listening to other people as they told her that she just had to get up and go on with things. And it's not a matter of moving on. It's a matter of learning from what you have been through.
Yeah.
And of course, that becomes a part of you too.
Yes.
It's not like we have to just move on and forget it happened.
That's a part of us.
It becomes
part of our story.
Part of who we are. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because we can pull good from everything.
Absolutely. I believe that too. Yeah. And the poor me, I think we're like, oh, well, I shouldn't do that. No, it is something that you go through, which is what you said and what she said as well. It's, there was poor me, there was denial,
right?
Blaming, figuring out how to hold it together, and then making your way through each of those things. And like you said, and not getting stuck in one of them or staying in one of them too long.
Right.
Do we pull ourselves up in that? Yeah, but also we do need people around us, a posse, to help us get out of that so we don't get stuck or stay in it too long.
And sometimes it's good to have the people who say, oh, I'm sorry, and they will almost commiserate with you and are empathetic and everything. And then it's good to also have the people who are like, all right, get your shit together and get up. Get out of bed. get out of your sweats.
Yes.
Let's go do something.
Yeah.
Let's, you know.
Yeah. She said her mom was one of the people that did that.
Yeah.
That was like, you got customers, you got to go get out there and do it.
Right.
You know, and then, and also what was the other thing? She said her mom said, I think you may need to stay in this relationship because I don't think you can do it yourself. I remember her saying that, and that actually, you think, well, was that a negative thing? No, because that was what sparked her to say, you know what? No, I can do it.
Yep.
And I am going to do it myself, and I'm going to.
That rebel spirit of, if you say no, then I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yes.
You say I can't, I'm going to prove you I can. I'm prove to you I can.
Yeah. Yeah. And she did. And, you know, she was saying it to herself as well, motivating herself to, and she said, was it difficult? Absolutely. Some of the hardest things that you're ever going to go through, but you can get through it.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to kind of find as you are going through something like that. And, you know, we've all been through, everyone's been through things, to find that rebel spirit and to find what it is that gets you out of your own head and kind of back into life.
Yeah.
And again, not in a, forget about it. It's not actually happening like voodoo, you know, this isn't happening.
It really
It's
is.
it's happening.
It's facing it.
Yeah. You got to deal with it because it's not happening.
Yep.
So suck it up.
Yeah. You're facing it and then finding the courage, right? Finding the courage and people around you encouraging you to find that courage. And that was one of the things she shared that I loved too, was that, you know, you're more powerful than you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yep. And what a good reminder.
Absolutely. More powerful than you know. You're not stuck. My sticker, I can and I will. You know, and what she said was if there's a will, there's a way. So, you know, that you have the will, so you can find a way to make it through.
Right.
I thought too, one of the fun things she shared about her way to get through it was her motorcycle phase.
Love it.
Which was awesome. And then we were talking about that, Logan, as well, about the, and I had written it down from when we were having the conversation with Lisa about what is your motorcycle? Not necessarily literal motorcycle, because hers was. That's exactly what she, and I think she said it just came upon her that she was like, yeah, I'm going to get a bike and I'm going to get out and ride. And that's how it's going to be therapeutic for me. I'm going to use it to help process what's going on and to find my way through and figure it out. What is next for me?
Yeah. And in so many ways that, you know, I mean, any motorcycle with, you know, in quotes, that someone finds that works for them is key to working through something. But I do find it interesting that she said she grew up around motorcycles. That her dad and maybe her mom rode as well.
Yeah, definitely her dad, I remember. Yeah.
And so it's interesting to think about, you know, when I think about things that I go to when I need activities to work through something or to get my mind off of something or to get my mind into something in a way that I can really analyze it and see it not in a poor me kind of a way. Some of the things that do come to mind are things that I was familiar with as a child.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And so, it's interesting to think that some of the things that we embrace might have some familiarity and some comfort because of knowing them in our childhood or having been around it or comfort with it or something.
Yeah.
You know, I think about, for me, reading and writing stories are both things, and those are definitely things that I've was encouraged to do in my childhood as well. And so I don't know. I don't think that's, you know, I think that's something that I've just always had.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything that I have come up with that's new. like that I have developed.
Yeah, that's something brand new. Because I think that does
right?
happen with people too, where they're at a crossroads in their life, a spark moment, something, and they're like, I just want to do something totally new that I've never done before.
Yep.
Maybe there has been an interest in it, or it's just been brought about somehow by a friend. Or there's an opportunity that comes up, and they're like,
or something they didn't know about, or that we didn't know about.
So I'm going to do something fresh and new that I've never done before, or or it can be something that has been a part of us. We've had an interest in it, or it's so it is familiar, and there's something warm about that, right? Yeah, I think for me, I think one of the things she said was, what's my motorcycle? It's not a motorcycle. I'm not going to ride a motorcycle. That's not my thing. I think being outside, I think I mentioned that with Lisa too. Like, I definitely relate with that idea of what she was saying, being outside in the fresh air and all that, and how that does help me to process. I think some of our previous guests too have talked about that, going out for a walk or a run, that is really helpful. Physical activity, I think. And then the outdoors, nature. But also, we had talked about, something that's creative. So art, making art. And one of the things I did actually through the process of my divorce in the last couple of years here is I started working with Akwi, who's a local artist here.
We need to have her on the podcast.
Yes, she'd be wonderful. Akwi, if you're listening, you need to come on the podcast.
We'll be calling you.
I started working with her, writing, poetry, other kinds of writing, which I think I'm going to do more with her in the future with that, and painting, because I had painted before. I've actually sketched and painted growing up, and I've always loved all kinds of art, obviously, music and theater and dance as well, but also visual art. So painting with her, and then developing a relationship with this artist too. Like, her and I just really vibed, so that was wonderful as well. But just creating, and that was very therapeutic for me and helpful. As I was processing all the things that were going on, and helping me make my way through, even on hard days, and hard weeks. It was really
things
wonderful.
To look forward to.
And time time
to focus on something, but in a way that also lets your mind wander and work through things, almost like sleep does. Like how our brain works through things when we sleep. And I think that's the same when we do some of these things, like riding a motorcycle or painting or, writing, whatever.
And doing theater.
Theater. It's huge for me,
the
too.
shows that I've done in the last couple of years that were definitely, they were meant to be. The people I was with, and the stories I got to tell and the roles I got to play and explore. I think that was really, really helpful. I know you just finished production as well, and like we've talked about that, just even the characters that you get to play and what you learn about yourself too through doing that.
Definitely. I know theater got me through a lot of the difficult times in my separation and divorce as well. And it was not easy to do, like time-wise. And I had two little kids who I would bring to rehearsals with me because
they both do theater now too.
They do. But I couldn't not do it. And yet I had two kids I was taking care of solely by myself. So if I wanted to do it, I had to bring them with me. And they were luckily very good about doing that. But
and it was healthy for you.
It was so healthy for me.
The motorcycle helps you to stay healthy through these very difficult times, right? And make your way.
Yep.
So that you're not stuck. You're not
stuck, because we're never stuck.
We're never stuck. I love that she shared that.
Yeah.
One of the other things we really wanted to talk about too was the 16 personalities test that Lisa shared with us. Logan was doing his while we were recording last time.
I did.
He couldn't
Yes.
wait. It's
And then we
that good.
both have done it
Yep.
since as well. Stacy has also done it.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, she will share with us hers as well. But
So you both
Yeah.
have done tests like that in the past. Maybe
Yeah.
not the 60
Different
personalities,
ones.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So this wasn't unfamiliar territory. Same for me. I've done that as well. I've done the Myers-Briggs, and the True
Yeah.
Colors was one that I did through
Okay.
Leadership for 5 seasons here in town. So yeah, it felt familiar, but affirmed some things I already knew, but also reframed some things. That was interesting.
Yeah. I feel like too, if you do it at different seasons of your life too, maybe different things come out.
Certainly.
I mean, it's like you're the same, but then I don't know, maybe there are things in us that are latent that come more out in different
Well,
as we're evolving, right?
Very much in Lisa's case, for example, sometimes those spark moments fundamentally change you.
Yeah.
If for better or for worse in some way, but they can alter your trajectory, and that changes how you see things, how you frame things, how you engage with things, and that can cause a shift. So
Absolutely.
people are complex.
We're interesting. Humans are interesting creatures.
We sure are.
So what is yours?
So my personality was the protagonist, which aligns with the Myers-Briggs ENFJ, if you're familiar with that, which is what I usually get. I usually am extroverted, fairly intuitive, feeling, overthinking. And then I generally, the last letter J versus P, that's like judging versus prospecting, generally flip back and forth depending on the test or how I'm feeling that day or whatever.
Yeah.
But usually I fall kind of into that spectrum. That's where I land. Protagonists are inspiring optimists, readily taking action to do what they feel is right. These warm, forthright types love helping others and have the creative energy to achieve their goals, is how it defines it. I feel like that reflects the way that I see myself,
Yeah.
or hope to see myself, I guess. Yeah.
I love it. Anything surprising in it for you?
I don't know if anything's surprising. Some things are not necessarily what you always love looking at yourself.
Yeah.
A big part of these personality tests is not just the strengths, but also the weaknesses, right? And weakness is a term you can take or leave,
Challenges.
right?
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
opportunities for growth or
There you
things
go.
to be aware of.
Yeah.
That, especially when you're looking at working in a group or working in a team, like you want to align yourself with people who help fulfill your shortcomings, your weaknesses, your areas where you are not the strongest. So some, bring those to light. I'm very extroverted. This says I'm 81% extroverted. I think that's most likely true. I do have, especially as I get older, I think a little bit more of an introverted tendency, where I'm an extroverted person, but I do need those moments to myself to recharge and regroup. It says I'm 86% intuitive over observant, 65% feeling, 67% judging, 57% turbulent, which I think is interesting. It says you're likely self-conscious, sensitive to stress, success-driven, perfectionistic, and eager to improve.
And that's turbulent.
They define that as turbulent, which I think is fair. I am a very self-conscious person, very sensitive to stress, although I put myself in a lot of stress-related situations.
Yeah.
Success-driven and perfectionistic and eager to improve, all very true. Things that I can see as strengths, but that also often can get me in trouble if I'm not aware of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Lisa was sharing too, just that doing a personality test like this is just that self-awareness, right? We're getting to know ourselves better. And then we can, learn how to take care of ourselves, learn what we can do, the possibilities that are out there for us.
Certainly. I think that, any quote unquote negative things that I see in this, I don't see as things that hold me back, but rather things that I can better utilize or position myself within if I'm aware of them.
Yeah.
So I think that's only positive to know about yourself, especially if you can see it in a critical and constructive way.
Right.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting to look at it from a perspective of, these are things that are a part of my personality that I don't need to judge myself for because it's not me doing something wrong.
Right.
It's a part of my personality.
Yeah. These are traits, qualities.
And again, not that we don't want to work on bettering ourselves.
Right.
But sometimes, some of the things that I have judged myself about, and then I read something like this and I think, oh, well, I don't need to judge myself if that's just part of who I am.
Yeah. Because
I'm not doing something wrong, because I always have in the back of my mind that I'm doing something wrong because of my history.
Yeah.
So it's, that has been helpful for me too. And not as something to fall back on. I don't think I'm explaining myself very well.
No.
That's what I was going to say.
You are, absolutely.
There's a difference between accepting your shortcomings and excusing your shortcomings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because it's part of your personality doesn't mean that it justifies bad actions.
Right.
Right. But knowing who you are, the different aspects of your personality, what your predispositions are, they can inform how you can take the correct actions in scenarios. That's this is not a being my 16 personality says that I'm self-conscious, so I get to take actions that justify negative behaviors because I'm a self-conscious person, so leave me alone.
Trying to use it as a
of course not.
As a defense or
something.
But
that self-awareness that I am a self-conscious person, I can better consider how I navigate that in my life, in my projects, in my interactions with others. That can be a strength. Awareness can be a strength.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I again with what you were saying, Kristin, too. Like this is a quality. It's not positive or negative. Like I think for an example would be introverted or extroverted,
right?
Because environments we are in, our culture tends to say being an extrovert is better than being an introvert.
Right.
Everybody loves the extrovert, that kind of thing. And it's like, well, no, both actually are really valuable. We need extroverted people and introverted people, and one isn't better than the other. They're different. And in a group, you need all those types of people. So not taking whatever the personality test says about you and saying like, oh, well, that's something I need to, I need to change from this to this. No, no, it's saying how you are and then like how you function. Like you said, individually.
Oh, you got a better personality than I did.
Yeah.
Like what? Like, oh, you did better.
It's
on
like,
your quiz
I want your personality, not mine.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No, but being able to accept and embrace who you are.
I also found it interesting. I did a little bit because I'm me. I did a little bit of a test. When I did it the first time, I was in a little bit of a funk.
Okay.
And I didn't really think much about it. I was just kind of doing it because I was like, okay, I want to do it before, so I can read through everything before we come on here and talk about it. And so then as I was reading through, I was like, okay, this is really interesting. I wonder if I was in a better mood and wasn't feeling so negative if I would have answered things differently. So I went back in with a different email and did it again when I was in a super good mood. Still answering completely honestly, making sure that I was, really going by instinct and not thinking through, how they say, go with what you first.
Yeah, what your first answer is. Yeah.
And it came out almost exactly the same.
Oh, interesting.
It was, so I am INFP, which is introverted, intuitive, feeling, and prospecting. And there are two versions of it. And again, it's the turbulent or
assertive.
Yeah. Yep. It's called mediator, I guess.
Yeah.
And the first time it came out as turbulent and the second time it came out as assertive. But right on the edge, like 51% and then 56%. So, and I thought that was really interesting because I did wonder because I do feel like I'm, the way my brain works and everything, I feel like I can almost be two different people when I'm in different moods.
Interesting.
So I was just curious, and it was fascinating that it came out almost exactly the same.
So you're not two different people when you're in different moods?
Two different people. No.
I'm just moody. That way. It feels that way.
Yeah, exactly.
We all are moody.
Well, it's a testament to a test that Lisa uses and appreciates, right?
Yeah.
That this test, which is fairly simple. It's very easy to go on. You can do it in 5 or 10 minutes.
Because there are some that are much more,
of course,
tons of questions and
But that it ultimately gets to the root of the way you perceive yourself and the way you think you present yourself to others.
Yep.
Even when you feel like that may be dissonant to what you are actually, what you feel you're putting out, right?
Sure. Yep.
That's great. That's a really cool testament to this test's value.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I liked one of her questions was, actually, she was asking you about the other test that you had taken during our interview with Lisa, that when you look in the mirror, do you see yourself differently after you've taken the test and read that about yourself? And then she has used that in her business coaching. I think that's fascinating. Yeah. Do you see yourself different when you look in the mirror after you read it? And so therefore I'm going to share mine.
Let's hear it.
Do I look at myself differently in the mirror afterwards? So mine is ENFP-A, campaigner. So extroverted, intuitive, feeling, prospecting, assertive, role, diplomat. Okay. It says an ENFP campaigner is a true free spirit with a strong zest for living. I love the word zest. They want to get the most out of life and strive to be all they hope to be. But because their interests run in so many different directions, it's all too easy for ENFPs to struggle when it comes to creating their desired life. Fascinating. Yes. I'm just going to say yes.
Totally.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because that's a really interesting description based on where I know your life is at now.
Okay.
And is recently. I imagine the answer is yes, but do you feel like that's the same result you would have gotten a few years ago?
I don't know. That's such a great question.
Nailed it. Great question.
I know. Great question, Logan. Yes. You should interview people on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Podcasting. Maybe we'll give that a shot.
Yeah. Hey. I don't know. That's why, especially since you were sharing how in different moods that it still turned out the same.
Right.
Wow. I wonder if it would have.
But we also talked about how, spark moments can change you over time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a very different person than I was before the most negative parts of my marriage.
Yeah. I think this would have described me when I was in college. Those years, like 18 to 22, that this would have described me. And then, although I feel like she talked about that too, my hired posse, my therapist and my life coach, those people that have helped me along the way. I think we've talked about that this person, this campaigner, was still in there. Like
Certainly.
She was there and I kept her alive, because I think that can happen. Sometimes you can get in situations, environments, circumstances where that part of you actually does die or is so suppressed that it's gone. Like you can't get it back. Get it back, maybe. I guess that's the part where you truly change into someone else. That can happen. But yeah, she was still like that free spirit. You probably know that. Kristin, you've known me a while.
Yep, absolutely.
The free spirit was still, she was in there.
She was in there.
She came out in different ways.
She was absolutely in there.
Yeah. So that's, Yeah, so that'd be cool. We can't go back in time and have me take the 16 personalities test.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, not yet anyway.
Not yet. Ooh, time travel.
It's coming.
When it happens, we
no
could do
doubt.
that. I thought one of the surprising things was extroverted, because I've always seen myself as an introvert.
Really?
And this one is extroverted 66%. So it's not like it was like 75, 80 or whatever. It was more.
Yeah, let's judge the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm an 81. Yeah.
No, I think that, and it's funny because I think
what percentage?
Mine was like 66%.
Okay. Mine was 61% introverted. So.
Yeah. So, I just surprised by that. But it's funny. There are some people that meet me are like, oh, well, of course you're an extrovert. And I'm like, oh, no, not really.
Yeah.
I wasn't when I was told that I was like shy, like growing up. I'm not sure I was shy. I think I was quiet. I'm an observer. So I listen. If there's more than just a couple people, I'm more quiet and I listen.
Sure.
And I observe and pay attention. And also I grew up in a family where everyone else was very extroverted. So they were talking all the time. There really wasn't space. So I mostly listened. But it also helped me to become a good listener.
Right.
I think, to work on that skill, grow that skill. But yeah, so some people are like, well, of course you're extrovert. I'm like, no, I'm pretty introverted. And interesting definition I've heard is that you're introverted if the way that you refuel is separate and away by yourself.
Right.
Like you need that time, like you were sharing about needing that time on your own to really regroup, refuel. Whereas extroverts actually gain energy and refuel by being in social situations and with others.
Yeah.
And that's more the marker of introvert, extrovert, rather than like, are you outgoing or are you quiet or shy? So it's interesting.
And I would say that's true for me. I generally am fueled by other people and interactions and groups and whatnot.
Yeah.
But as I get older, and particularly as I become more in tune with my anxieties, right, and my weaknesses, like I do find that moments alone are more needed and more valuable. I can get overstimulated. I can get, whatever. So it's not 100% extroverted.
Yeah.
There's some nuance there.
Yeah. And learning how best to care for ourselves.
Right.
And so we can be both.
I definitely
when
think
needed.
so.
Yeah, absolutely.
I found something interesting with mine, and I knew this, but I was surprised by how much. My intuitive was 91%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very intuitive.
That's extremely high.
I wonder what mine was.
And
Mine
it
was
says
93.
Imaginative. Yeah, 93. Oh my gosh.
Dude, we're so intuitive.
Seriously. Very imaginative and open-minded, focusing on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. And one of the things that mine said too was like that I almost have like, I'm not coming up with the word. I think too far into what I want something to be. And sometimes I don't see realities because I'm like dreaming about how things could be.
Yeah.
And I think that that's fairly accurate.
I think I do the same exact thing.
But it's interesting because I like statistics and I like facts and I like lists and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I also
and
I am also, completely like, oh wow, this is going to be this way and it's going to be amazing and it's going to be sunshine and rainbows and
living in that hope as if it's reality. And I think that is one of the things that's such a good thing for us to be aware of because I know it's gotten me into trouble before. Yeah. Probably you too. Yeah. That like sure. Even like hoping that a situation is something more than it is or different than it is instead of looking at the reality. And even a person too, like that they living in what I hope that they could be or are rather than what they actually are. So then, So
do you feel like that's caused you to spend more time in certain situations than you should have?
Yep. I knew what you were asking. In the middle of that day, I was like, yep, that's something I've learned about myself. Yeah, absolutely.
Always
but also
trying to think the best of people and believe that people can be the best version of themselves.
Change, improve.
And,
that's the counterpoint to that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course you have spent time in some situations where maybe you should have, gotten out earlier, right? But to that same point, to that same token, like you have also probably built connections and found opportunities with other people and other things that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
For that same reason. So you can easily focus on one negative thing or maybe a couple of negative things when the truth is there's a lot of other positive things that have come out of that part of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just being aware of both, all of that, because I think that also makes you to be somebody. You are someone who perseveres.
Right.
Then and believing the best and help and actually helping someone coming alongside, and they really do actually change and improve. And I think with my son, I think that was a quality that was really, and raising kids, I think that's because you believe in them and they are continually changing and developing and growing as they are growing up. And so being, sticking with them and helping them to believe the best about themselves too.
Yeah, it's definitely a good quality to have as a parent.
Yeah, I definitely think that too. Yeah. So
maybe not so much as a wife in my situation.
And I would concur.
But, as a parent,
I would concur.
For sure. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and it's just that you can persevere and stay in things, but it's also being aware of, when it's time.
When it's time.
And you're like, this is not going to be different, changed. So then being able to be fully aware of that and then make a decision of what you're going to do, which is also one of the things that Lisa talked about. Segue. Did you feel that segue? Of, that you can change and taking action. Manifesting was one of the things that you had
action and decision making. I think those were other really important things when she was talking about nothing is permanent.
Yes.
And a lot of the, we can make decisions that completely change the direction something is going.
Yes.
And that's okay to do. But the important thing is make the decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't just let life happen.
Yes.
And I think Lisa has shown again and again that she is a decision maker. She has made all these successful businesses, just successful business after successful business. And it's, I see such a action taker and some power moves.
Yeah, power moves and courageous. The courage to do that. I found that, very inspiring listening to her talk about that, and just because of being in a transition time in my life as well, and just saying and just as she was talking, just feeling that, and even just like reflecting on that of like, I have changed my life. I can change my life. I can choose something different. And I think that's true for you. That's true for Stacy. We all are in that place. And that's kind of what the Power Posse podcast came out of is, that those spark moments, those awakenings, those times in our life when we're like, I can and I will do something different. And I have the power to do that. Lisa was talking about to make a change.
And every time we do it, we get better at it. And we get stronger at the decision making or at the, self-advocating or finding strength in choosing a different action.
Yep.
Than what you've done up to that point.
Yeah. Yep. You're not stuck.
Never stuck.
You're not stuck. You can change your life. You can do something different, something new.
Absolutely.
And have that joy and peace that you are hoping for, looking for. You can change your circumstances. You can change your present and your future.
We both have in pretty significant ways.
Yeah. And it's exciting to think about what's next.
Yep.
It is. And since we're talking about that, let's
what is
talk
next?
about something next we're doing. So
Segue Pro today.
I know we're Segue Pro.
She is.
Because this podcast that we're recording will be our second in March release, and then in is it about 2 weeks, because it's March 25th and 26th, we are going to be, the Power Posse Podcast is going to be at the U Conference that's here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. March 25th and 26th. Podcasting live.
The U Conference.
Yep.
Women's Conference.
Yep. You can go online, just Google U Conference, Cedar Rapids, Iowa 2026, and get more information about that if you'd like to come and be a part of it.
That's right. And the theme this year is Fiercely You.
Fiercely You, which I think, yes. It's it's badass.
It is badass.
Being fierce. Fierce, badass, yes. So
we will be doing our live podcast on the Wednesday evening. It's the
25th.
25th.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And then the conference is all day on the 26th as well that you can participate in. And we are just really excited and thankful to be invited and be a part of it.
Sure.
And Logan will be there as well.
Party.
Party. It's going to be party.
And if you aren't able to join us live, we will be releasing that in the recording of that in April.
Yep. That'll be our first April release. And then the second podcast release in April will be a deep dive follow-up to that.
Yeah.
To our time at the conference.
And,
so it'll be really great.
It will be.
Looking forward to that. Something new and
It's
different.
Be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be the energy of having an audience while we podcast.
There'll be a lot of posse there.
Cool. Yeah, there will. So I think it's about time to close up.
I think so.
So
let's wrap her up.
We just want to, again, say so many thanks to Lisa. She was a phenomenal guest, and she gave us clearly, as you can tell, so much to think about and talk about.
Absolutely.
And we're very grateful to her for bringing her story and her just general loveliness to us. And to you listening, remember, keep owning your power, keep finding your people, and if you're still looking, don't worry, you got us. We're always here.
Absolutely. If this reflection stirred something in you, please pass it on. Share the podcast, share it with your friends, send it to your sister, your coworkers, your walking buddy, whoever that you think might be interested in this, someone that you think needs to hear it, please share it with them. And please make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on what's next. And if you're feeling generous, please leave us a rating or review. It helps more badass women find their way to this space. This episode was produced by Upload Media Group. Thank you, Logan.
Thank you.
And thank you for your contributions to the conversation as
My
well.
pleasure.
Always
Love
wonderful.
that. And to our listeners, please keep that sparkle alive, friends. And we will see you next time on the Power Posse Podcast.